Halloween was supposed to be fun, a night to scare and be scared, all in good fun. When my best friend Lila texted me about the new Halloween Scare Walk event happening deep in Blackwood Forest, it sounded like the perfect way to wrap up our October. The flyer said it would be a night to remember. I didn't know then how true that would be. The night was cold with the kind of chill that creeps under your skin. It was pitch black when we parked at the trailhead, the only light coming from our flashlights and the scattered lanterns marking the start of the walk. I noticed right away how still it was. Too still. The whole forest seemed to be holding its breath. We joined a group of about 10 others at the entrance, all eager for the thrill. The actors in creepy masks and ragged costumes lined up around us, silent, their eyes just slightly too wide, their grins a little too fixed. Lila nudged me, whispering, "Creepy, right? They're really committing to their roles." I tried to laugh, but I felt a prickle of unease. The guide, a tall, wiry man in a tattered coat, introduced himself as the Keeper of the Woods. His voice was low and rough, like gravel grinding against stone. "Once we enter," he said, "no turning back. The scare walk is real." His warning was supposed to be a scare tactic, of course, just part of the act, but the way he said it made my stomach turn. We started down the path, the group spreading out as each person or pair stumbled through the darkness. It wasn't long before Lila and I lost sight of the others. Every step seemed to pull us further from reality, deeper into something dangerous. The trees crowded in, branches scratching like bony fingers, their roots twisted and knotted like veins in the earth. A scream pierced the night, a high, blood-curdling wail from somewhere up ahead. Lila grabbed my arm and I felt her nails dig into my skin. "It's just someone getting scared," I whispered, more to myself than to her. Another scream, closer this time. We kept walking, trying to reassure ourselves that everything was fine, that we were just playing along with the actors. But soon we noticed something strange. There were no props, no sound effects, nothing staged or artificial, just darkness, silence, and the faint rustling of leaves as the wind picked up. Out of nowhere, a man lurched from the shadows. His face was ghostly white, his eyes wide with terror. He was breathing hard, wheezing like he'd been running for miles. "Turn back," he gasped. "They're real. They're hunting us. It's not a game." Before we could say anything, he bolted back the way we came, his footsteps fading fast. Lila and I exchanged a terrified look, the full weight of his words sinking in. And then behind us, a growl came from the trees. I swung my flashlight around, and in the beam I saw something. It was crouched low, almost human, but not quite. Its skin was pale, stretched tight over bones, and its eyes glowed with hunger. It let out a rasping hiss, and in the flicker of the flashlight I saw sharp, gleaming teeth. "Lila, run!" I didn't wait for her to react. I grabbed her hand and we sprinted down the path, our footsteps pounding against the dirt. We could hear it behind us, its breath heavy, wet and feral. The lanterns marking the path were gone now, leaving us to stumble in near darkness. Branches snagged at our clothes, our hair, like fingers trying to pull us back. My lungs burned and my heart hammered so hard I thought it might explode. Lila was sobbing, her grip slipping, but I couldn't stop. I knew that if I turned around, if I slowed for even a second, it would catch us. Another scream echoed through the forest, a familiar voice but warped, twisted. It sounded like Lila. I glanced back and my heart nearly stopped. Lila was still beside me, her eyes wide with horror. But there, just behind us, was a figure that looked exactly like her. Same face, same clothes, but with dead, glassy eyes and a smile that stretched too wide. "Come back," it crooned in her voice, but layered with something dark, something that wasn't human. I screamed, yanking Lila forward, and we tore through the trees, our breaths ragged and raw. The path twisted, split, and we had no idea where we were anymore. The creature was still behind us, moving with an unnatural speed mimicking Lila's voice, laughing in a way that scraped against my skull. Finally, we burst out into a small clearing. I thought we were safe, but then I saw the actors from earlier, or at least what was left of them. They were sprawled on the ground, their bodies twisted and broken, their faces frozen in masks of terror. My flashlight flickered and I realized we weren't alone. A ring of figures surrounded the clearing, their eyes glowing in the dark, their forms shifting and swaying like they were caught in some sick, hypnotic dance. They moved closer, circling us, their mouths stretching open to reveal rows of sharp, gleaming teeth. The last thing I remember is their hands. Cold, clawed hands reaching out, grabbing us, dragging us down into the darkness. Their laughter echoed through the trees, a sound that would haunt me forever if I ever got out.